Havar, Joyce, and Yumiko, and we are here to present to you our business idea, Senior Buddy, and to ask for $500,000 in seed funding for Senior Buddy. Let me quickly show you what we're going to talk to you about. So we'll tell you what the challenge is that we're solving, how we're solving it, what our platform looks like, what is our market and who are we competing against, our go-to-market strategy, social and financial impact, and finally the funding need that I just mentioned. This is Dorothy. Dorothy lives in London. She has no children. She used to be a teacher and now she's retired. She had a husband, Eric, who she loved very much, and he died 6 years ago. She feels kind of lonely since he's not there anymore, and she doesn't have the children and she doesn't have the job. She's basically just at home and trying to come up with things that can keep her busy. And she told us that what she would most want is a house full of people that she could talk to. Now, Dorothy is not alone. The challenge of retired life faces a new cohort of more than 100 million people every year. They go from feeling really valuable because they have a job, they're surrounded by people, they have exciting projects, to really abruptly not feeling that valuable anymore. And this feeling of being valuable declines and continues to decline over the course of their retired life. A quarter of the people who are retired end up being socially isolated, not talking to anyone. Some become really lonely, others it really impacts their mental and physical health. This is the challenge that we want to fight. And how are we solving it? We're proposing Senior Buddy, an online platform that connects seniors like Dorothy to junior buddies, younger people, working age people who need their help. The seniors have the skills, they have the time, they have the expertise and the wisdom, and they can provide that to the younger people who do not have a lot of time, and they also don't have a lot of resources, but they're really keen to learn from the older generation. So how does this work in practice? If we take Dorothy here, Dorothy, she's really good at cooking, she can do knit work, she can do a lot of housework, and she just has a lot of interesting stories to tell about her life in London, her career as a teacher. And Kylie here, who's an expat in London and who's moved there from New Zealand, she really has not a lot of time because she works as an advertising director. She needs someone to cook her a warm meal twice a week, maybe to do some knitting of buttons, and also just to have tea from time to time, because she also might feel lonely because she doesn't have that many people in a busy city like London. So this is the vision, and now we will show you how the platform works in practice. So if you take Dorothy as an example, how does she work with Senior Buddy? She logs on, she creates a profile. She enters her search criteria. What are the things that she would like to help with, and who would she like to help? And then she can browse like a book of potential juniors that she can help. Once they connect and start chatting, they can then meet either online or offline and share stories or provide a service like the cooking or the knitting. And then importantly, once this is done, each side rates the other side, and the online payment all takes place on the platform. And Havar is going to show you how this actually works on our site.
Okay, so here, let's just quickly launch our website, seniorbuddy.io. Okay, so here is our website. Our mission is connecting the generations. So here, imagine you're a senior buddy. You can just click here, become a senior buddy. And then you will quickly go to a profile creating page, which you can indicate your highest education or former or current jobs. And you can enter your search settings, like where can I help? For example, like drive or DIY or business here. And also, you can have a preference of whoever you want to help, like gender, age, or proximity, or the channel of interactions. When you finish it, let's just imagine you have done it before. Then you can drop your profile on our web page. Here's an example of the Dorothy's profile. And also, if you want to find a senior buddy on our website, you can just click here. And similarly, you can you can create your own user account. Also, the similar information you can provide and search. Like for example, here she says, "I need the business help," and also the preference. And also, you can have your own user profile. And later on, we have some data mining techniques to match these two guys up. Like for example, here is our examples of senior buddies. Different people live in different cities and have different offerings of help. Okay, that's a demo.
Okay, I'm going to talk about the markets. Who are we targeting? For senior buddies, we target the people who are over 50 years old and living in urban areas. They feel very bored with a monotonous daily routine after retirement. So they are willing to communicate with the people from different generations and also willing to contribute to the society. For junior buddies, we target all working age, and also because they are very busy and constrained on the time and money, so they are willing to get the support from senior buddies or learn from senior buddies. Globally, more than 600 million people are over 65 years old, and more than 100 million people have the access to the internet. So the market is huge and expanding rapidly. The competitors. Among all the competitors which provide a service to all the people, our senior buddy will occupy the niche market, providing them with a purpose. And it also makes us very unique that the individual senior buddies will serve the service or the value to the young generations, while the other online platforms or institutions just connect the senior buddies only, senior people only. Okay, and compared to the other retiree pastimes, such as traditional work, volunteering, and leisure clubs, senior classes, our senior buddy will maximizes the value for seniors, such as social connection, feeling of being valuable, fun, accessibility, and affordability as well.
Thanks, Yumiko. Well, let me introduce our marketing strategy. Since our retirees and working age people have different characteristics and behaviors, so we have different marketing strategy for them. For senior side, we'd like to focus on offline channels. We believe institution partnerships which are close to senior guys and sales representatives who can communicate with senior people easily in communities are helpful. For younger side, we'd like to focus on online channels. Social media, online marketing campaigns, and SME advertising are our primary choices. Besides this, we found that according to some successful marketing practice of some internet companies, such as Uber, user referrals is really effective. So we would like to use user referral to develop both side users. So we'd like to choose London as our first market. And our target for London is around 500,000 people in 2 years to impact their life. And then we'd like to expand our business into other cities and countries, such as the Asian area, like Europe, Tokyo, and the US area, such as New York. So how can we implement our user development? First of all, we'd like to take the first 3 months as our launching period. For senior side, we'd like to hire institution developers to build up relationships with the institutions such as London team and senior schools to develop our users. And we also want to organize senior topic events. For junior side, we'd like to use our own personal links and social media to develop our seed users. So our target for this period is around 1,000 users for both sides. And in next 6 months, we'd like to build up senior users by hiring the sales representatives, and also we'd like to do local newspaper, flyer, and outdoor advertising. for junior side, we'd like to begin our online marketing to develop our users. So for booming stage, we hope we are possible to invite Mayor of London City as our ambassador, and also we can collect with some senior product companies such as GNC to do co-branding market. And also for junior side, we'd like to do our SME advertising on Google. Now we have Bianca.
Thank you, Jess. So our business generates a double impact, both social and financial. On the social side, as you probably understand by now, Senior Buddy provides a purpose for the seniors like Dorothy. And at the same time, it provides expertise from the older generation for our younger users. But that's not all. In terms of social impact, we're also generating income because we're leveraging a new demographic as part of the workforce. Imagine if we bring 10 million senior people onto Senior Buddy. That's 10% of the target market, of the total addressable market that Yumiko described. If these 10 million people do 2 hours of Senior Buddy work every week, and they earn an equivalent of $10 for 1 hour worked, which is, say, about half of a minimum wage in one of the developed European countries, then that will generate a total of $10 billion for them in additional income. And that's not all, because also for the juniors, their disposable income will increase, because if we say that traditionally they would have paid double for that equivalent service, and now they only pay half because they're getting the Senior Buddy to provide the service for them, their disposable income actually increases by another $10 billion. And so how are we going to monetize on this platform in order to generate actual financial impact? There are 3 phases to our monetization strategy. First, when we're launching the platform and building up users, we will host local events. Say in London, we will invite both the seniors and the juniors to events to help build the community, but also to generate first revenues for Senior Buddy as an organization in that city. Then, once we have a critical number of page views, we will charge advertisers, companies who are targeting products to seniors in that location for advertising on our site, which is going to be very attractive for them because they have this demographic that they are targeting on the platform, and they can target that very specifically. And finally, to develop that further, we will also develop an e-commerce platform for them to directly offer the products to the seniors on the site, and we will take a commission on that e-commerce. So by using these monetization strategies, we hope to generate revenues that will sustain our costs by Q3 2017, which was when we planned to break even, knowing that we plan to launch the platform in London by Q3 2016. This will take us in terms of net profits to more than 2 million in net profits by the beginning of 2018. So now, what do we need to make this happen? We are asking for a seed investment of $500,000 in order to get a 20% stake in the company, which will have a post-money valuation of 2.5 million. The pre-money valuation is 2 million, based on the fact that we've already gotten funding in grants from different European organizations in the value of $500,000. So what are you going to get from that investment? If you invest $500,000 in seed money with us now, we plan to raise another a Series A funding round by 2018, when we believe that our valuation is going to go to 12 million, which will give you a 6x return over 2 years. We will use the money mainly to develop our app and web version in the first phase here in infrastructure, and then to market and roll out the service in our first target location, London. So why should you put your money with our team? We have a great combination of different expertises. Joyce brings all the expertise in the sharing economy, having worked at Uber. Yumiko is our expert in online retail from her extensive expertise at Rakuten. We also have the best CTO in the world, Hover, who knows everything about everything from brainwaves to app and web platform development. And last but not least, you also have an ex-strategy consultant. So we would like to ask you to get the 500,000 in funding from you in order to help Dorothy and her fellow seniors, to get them to be better off and to connect the generations. Thanks a lot for your attention.
questions is about the value. Because the first chart you have, this one about the retirement, the perception that seniors have that they're feeling less valuable with retirement. So who determines value? What does that value consist of?
That's a very emotional question, I think. So the seniors that we've talked to, they probably all perceive value a bit differently. I mean, for some, value is or actually earning money, right? And then they go from earning money to not earning money. So they feel less valuable and they just have a desire to continue working. For others, it's rather the fact that they're alone and they perceived themselves as providing value while they were around others, and then they spend more time alone and they somehow want to give back because they feel like they've been privileged during their working life, and now they want to give back, and that would give them value. So I think it's very personal.
Yes, but the essence of your business proposition is that you are proposing to offer them value back.
Yes.
In fact, you're monetizing. So it becomes a very important question how you understand the monetization of this value.
Of the value.
So it's not simply emotional.
Right.
Okay, so maybe I can add a point from my perspective and from our interview with some seniors. So in developed countries such as London, when people retired, they will involve in some community volunteer events because in this way they feel that they continue contribute to our society and continue to make value. So based on this culture and based on their feeling, we think, okay, maybe they can utilize their skills, experience from the long-term working or life experience to help the other people, to make them feel fulfilled by helping others, by loving others. Mm-hmm. So that's actually I think the spirit is what we think value is.
Would you market this more as a platform to find friends, or to really outsource some jobs, so to speak? I mean, what is your focus? For me, it's not 100% clear.
Actually, I think our value proposition is to transfer value from senior generation to younger generation. So making friends is one aspect of our platform. But I think the more important is to share their experience to make more impact on next generation.
I think other platforms create friendship relationships, especially between seniors, right? There are already platforms like Stitch in Australia that connect the seniors among themselves. Yeah, senior social networks. It also exists in Japan. This is really supposed to be cross-generational and to provide an exchange of services, not just friendship in that sense.
Have you considered maybe just focusing on specific events, like, for example, I don't know, maybe not hiking, but dog walking or something like that, instead of just monetization of actual work? Because for my, maybe I just don't have the imagination right now, but I could imagine the tasks that you can do get more and more limited after a while, in a sense that it's like physical or whatever, like you're talking about knitting and whatnot. I don't know. So really.
Yeah, and I want to add a little bit is for online story sharing is totally free, because we call it actually loving cloud, to utilize their experience story to help others. But for offline, in order to get some income for the seniors, so we charge them a little bit.
I mean, I think, yeah, it's a fair point that maybe some activities, then take too much energy, but I think the younger part of our target segment, right, the ones who are maybe just retired and around 60 years old, I think they can still do a lot of the different services that we had up there. And then, yeah, as they evolve, they can always change their search settings, right? Maybe then it's just pets, and they just go out and go for a walk with them.
You mentioned Stitch in Australia, which is for seniors to meet each other.
Yeah.
Before the same team was working on something that's close to what you guys are doing. Basically, it was to connect seniors with their families.
Yeah, tapestry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I worked with them when I was a student there.
Oh.
It didn't work very well because they couldn't get traction, not enough people. One of the reasons was they were thinking they could go by individuals going together, and that was very hard to basically recruit people. So
Okay.
you guys were mentioning retirement homes or things like this. Do you really plan to go after, individuals, consumers, or you say you will hire salespeople to go after retirement homes? Do you know which retirement homes you're gonna start with, or hospitals, or care facilities?
Okay, so actually we have two distribution channels for seniors, the main distribution channel. But the first one is institution partnership. So actually there are already some volunteer, like NGO institution, they already have lots of senior volunteers. So our strategy is to approach them first because they have the willing and the ability to help others. And for sales representatives, we would like to maybe approach some community, like a service center, like maybe some supermarkets, to the place where they have lots of senior guys together there to approach them, to introduce our product to them.
And in those places, are the seniors computer literate? Do they know how to use an app, an iPad, a computer?
Yeah.
They know?
According to the new research for London, there are more than 57% of seniors are online. They are using computer.
Do they use WhatsApp right now? If they
Not all of those 57% use WhatsApp, of course not. But
Yes.
those are the ones that are online.
Online.
So we think they would be able to use the web-based version
Yeah.
of the site.
Yeah.
And then a subgroup of those maybe 60%, maybe 20% actually use the smartphone and use the apps.
maybe definition of being online means they check their newspaper online. It's a little bit different experience than going log in on something that looks like a dating site. They might have some little trouble to do that, right?
Okay, we only have 40 seconds. I need to get one last question in about exit.
Sure.
About exit.
Okay.
You talk about return on investment. How are you going to get an exit from this particular type of business model?
So the plan is that with the seed funding that we're getting right now, we can sustain the business for the next 24 months. And then we plan to raise another round of funding, or the actual Series A funding. And the exit then would be for you to sell your shares in that Series A funding at the new valuation that we plan to achieve. And if you decide to hold on to those, then that will be the same for the Series B and Series C funding round. But that would be the first potential exit.
That's normally not very practical, but okay.
Okay. Okay, happy to get more feedback.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.